Unit 4, Period 4, Section 5 deals with reform movements before the Civil War. This is the early 1800s. The first reform movement we're going to discuss is the temperance movement. The temperance movement was an attempt, mostly by women in the United States, to outlaw alcohol. The reason why they felt like alcohol needed to be outlawed was because of a ideology in the United States called the cult of domesticity, and that is where the woman was expected to stay in the home and do housework and take care of the kids, and the men were supposed to go out and work. Well, the women, as illustrated by this picture here, believe that alcohol was evil and that it was disrupting the role of their men in their lives and the jobs and the responsibilities. And so they wanted to see alcohol. The temperance movement was an interesting reform movement because alcohol was such an important part of Americans, as you can see from this illustration here. Alcohol was a very important part of Americans' lives, um, all the way back to the Spanish, the Portuguese, and the use of the production of sugar cane in the West Indies eventually led to uh, was used for alcohol, and the trade of slaves eventually occurred in the southern part of the United States, and is going to play an important role in this unit and the following unit. This picture shows the massive amounts of alcohol that were being produced in the United States and how alcohol was used by the citizens of the United States. It was used as a medicine, as shown here and here. It's amazing what kind of drugs was included in medicines and things before reforms in the 1960s changed a lot of what manufacturers could put in medicines and shampoos and just everyday products used by Americans. Alcohol was also used in surgeries as an anesthesia. So you can see that alcohol is a very important part of American life, and women had a difficult time getting this change to occur. Another reform that occurred during this time period was led by the superintendent of schools in Massachusetts, and his name was Horace Mann. He's pictured here. Horace Mann wanted to change the way schools were funded and is successful in the state of Massachusetts in getting taxpayers to foot the bills of schools instead of churches. And I refer to this as taxpayers, not tithes. He is called the father of public education because not only did he change the way schools were funded, but he also changed the curriculums. Before Horace Mann, curriculums pretty much consisted of um, the teachings of the three R's: reading, writing, arithmetic, using biblical lessons. Horace Mann's going to uh, increase the curriculum, expand the curriculum of public schools into arts and music and the three R's. The third reform movement that we discussed before the Civil War is women's suffrage. And women's suffrage really means uh, a movement to increase the rights of women. Um, it really was kicked off at the Seneca Falls Convention in New York in 1848. And I think this map is funny because this map here shows you all the states that allowed women to vote before the convention in 1848. And as you can see, it's zero. So the Seneca Falls Convention was pretty important as it related to women's rights. It was held up in Seneca Falls, New York, which is a town found right along the Erie Canal, which made it easier for the women to get to the convention. And the membership of the convention incorporated both women and men, as seen from this list here. Elizabeth Cady Stanton played an important role in this convention. Elizabeth Cady Stanton wrote a document called the Declaration of Sentiments. The Declaration of Sentiments was written very similar to the Declaration of Independence. In fact, she copied a lot of the words, for instance, that Jefferson used when in the course of human events it becomes necessary. The difference being between the Declaration of Sentiments and the Declaration of Independence is where Jefferson was attacking the king, Elizabeth Cady Stanton is going to be attacking the unfairness that men had brought upon women. This concludes Unit 4, Section 4, Unit 4, Period 4, Section 5, Reform Movements.